Lauren Muss, how are you?
I'm good, Lee. How are you?
How's it going? You're isolated like everybody else.
Very isolated.
How's it going?
You know something? I think this is like time that I maybe needed. So it's actually, it's bad for work. It's good for health.
It's great for health. It's I'm on a crusade in the basement because I have major issues to run a marathon on an elliptical machine. And where are you going to find the time to do that? And so people have been saying how long does it take to do that? I go, I calculated it's 3.5 hours if I make it all the way through to the end. So I have to figure out what is going to get me motivated for 3.5 hours. And then I realize I haven't seen The Irishman yet.
So let me ask you a question. Sure. One thing I did notice is I'm ordering pots and pans, I'm ordering blankets, all of a sudden I'm realizing, do I want a shade that's electronic? I think, are you getting calls from people saying,
No.
When this is over, I need to redo my bathroom?
Nothing. No one. I've gotten emails and calls from potential, Lenny, you're on Zoom, Lenny, shut up. I'm getting calls.
Oh my God, wait, you have a Lenny, I have an Amy.
I have a Lenny and a Lola. Lola is the sweetest thing in the world, and Lenny thinks we're on guard. And I'm like, Lenny, there's nobody for acres.
Well, Lola's like an animal name. Lenny is like a person, like Amy.
Yeah,
so people always question, why did I name Amy?
Right. Well, we got Lola at 1 o'clock, and then at 1:05, at the breeder, I was like, I'm not leaving with one dog. I'm leaving with two. And Jillian said he looks like a Lenny, and I'm like, okay, so his name is Lenny Stahl. He works in a deli, and that's pretty much his deal. I'm getting people calling saying we are interested in buying this, and we know we can't renovate now, but, and I'm like, that's a big but. That's but when, who, what building, where are you thinking? So there are people. I think when this comes out, look, there's going to be a massive shakeout of 100 different industries, but people are. I spent an hour and a half on the phone with a potential client buying something and trying to explain to them what it was really going to cost, even coming out of this, because they're like, well, when we come out of this, things are going to be cheaper, right? I go, insurance is
labor's labor.
Yeah, labor's labor. I said, insurance is going to cost the same amount. I said, if not more. I said, and the reality is, you're not going to find some plumber for $8 an hour to do the job. So what are you going to do? And that's going to affect prices. That's going to affect all of it. But no doubt about it. I mean, the first 2 weeks we got out here, I was in an emotional coma. I did nothing, just nothing. And, it was all, I felt guilty about doing nothing. And I'm like, then the third week, which was, I guess, last week, then I started to ramp up and go, all right, there's stuff I got to do. Let's not waste this time. Eventually things will be better. And so, that's where I got into the elliptical training, which if I don't pass out, it'll be great. It'll be awesome. How about you? What about
It's
health?
a great time to self-reflect.
It is.
It's a great time, I'm making sure that I'm exercising 1 or 2, hours a day. I'm going on walks every day, anywhere from 3 to 6 miles. I'm doing a class. I've signed up for every free trial from, Peloton has one if you don't have the bike, which is really great.
The app is great.
Tracy Anderson, I'm trying out for 2 weeks. And then there's this Isaac Boots who does live at 11 o'clock and who's just so amazing. I don't know how people text him while he goes. He doesn't stop literally for 50 minutes, doesn't put his leg down, his arm down, nothing. And he just yaps and talks and the music's
How long
great.
is his class?
It's 15 minutes. It's every day live at 11, but during the week, it's hard for me to make that 11. So, you can watch it later and do it anytime. And it's just, it works like your body out. I haven't worked out in a while. So I'm wondering what's going to happen when I have to go back to work and go back to my, which is another topic, everyday schedule of how do you fit this back in and how do you not go back into the craziness and the high blood pressure and the nervousness and the, on 24/7. If you don't reply back right away, they've moved on. I think it's a good time to self-reflect and to see how you're going to go back, to your business.
I also think it's a question of what do you want? Like what, ultimately, when you come out of this, like what do we all really want? There are kids doing this, doing what you do, and they see TV shows and they think that's what reality is all about. But people who've been doing this for a while, I think you get to a point where it's like, all right, what is it that you want? And,
Right. Like I've decided that all my business is going to be around these three things. So one of the major things is what are we having for dinner?
Right.
So that's an exciting topic.
Right.
And then I want to do my 11 o'clock Isaac boots. And if I can't, then I'm going to do it later. And
Right.
then I want to meditate at 6. So like, I won't take a call. I won't do something around those times. And that's what I've decided now. Like anything can wait right now. So these are the three things I'm trying to better myself with. So, everything else, like when you asked to do the call, I'm like, can we do it at 12?
Right. Right. And I had said, I checked my schedule and I have nothing. So,
Right.
I've got nothing going on.
And so between the class, the meditation, and, whatever I want to do, like, I'm trying to do from 12 to 4, I'm trying to say, now we have Amy joining. From 12 to 4, I'm trying to do things that I want.
Sure.
And then I'm trying to do business before and after.
Sure.
Because nothing is urgent. If I don't respond back, I'm not losing the listing. I'm not losing the showing. Everything could wait right now.
Yeah.
Just for how long?
Yeah. And it certainly, for me, it takes my OCD and it kind of puts it in a little box on the side, because there's, you have no control over anything. So it's like, enjoy the time, at least do something with the time. And, it sounds like you're doing great.
Well, the first week I did all my photos that I haven't touched in like 10
you did
years.
That. See,
so my floor was just like covered. That was like when I was in the city. And
then real photos. Oh.
Oops. Hello.
That's okay. I see you.
And then I started, let me just tell my son not to call. Hold on.
That's okay. Lola, you being a very good girl. Lenny? All right. Lenny's asleep. We're great.
And so the pictures were the first week.
Okay.
And then I started doing my closets. I started organizing. I ordered from Container Store.
Sure.
Every sort of like divider and box and, bin and whatever it is. And then I did my closets.
Right.
Then I did all my Tupperware and started going through that. Then when I got out to the Hamptons, then I got all new pots and pans. I got all new spices.
Nice.
I stocked up, with all my, Bounty, Charmin, Lysol, and Windex, and Cascade was very hard to find. Cascade and garbage bags were very difficult.
Cascade is hard to find. Paper towels are impossible to find.
Right.
Toilet paper has opened up, but
it's the things that you didn't expect as much to not be able to go.
God, I mean, and I stock up usually. Like this house has stuff. Like to me, a full pantry makes me feel happy. You just blow through it. The amount of, we're 23, 24 days. We've duplicated dinner once. So it's 23 straight dinners of like no duplication. And then I was like, I don't care. I want the lamb sausage again and the grilled artichoke. So we made lamb sausage.
Oh, grilled artichokes. Can you tell me about that? Because so far, there's two things I didn't do before all this. I didn't know how to turn on my television.
Okay.
So it was only so when my, other half would show up on the weekends, the clicker would be dead because I've never touched it since the last time he was there.
Right.
And then I don't cook. So now I'm watching TV a lot, which we can discuss, and I'm cooking. So every night, in 3.5 weeks, I've not taken in once.
No, us, we haven't done the same thing. I feel for it, but I can't. Isolation to me is like isolation. And so I stopped at Citarella yesterday and I came out and got my new shock of like how much groceries are in the New York City store versus groceries that I've been buying out here for 3 weeks, walking out with $250 worth of groceries and it's 12 bags, walking into Citarella and it's 2. And I'm going,
well, the best is before I left, I went to Eli's and I'm like, oh my God, this place is so empty. There's no one here. And I'm like, is there like a B rating? And I got my 3 shopping bags, which could have fit into 2, and the bill was $520. I'm like, now I know why no one comes here. Why it's empty.
No. My mother, I'll give you a 30-second story about Eli's. My daughter's like 3-4 years old. My mother's going to cook dinner for her, and my mother is not going to Eli's, even though Eli's is next door to her building. But she realizes she doesn't have string beans for dinner. So she goes into Eli's, and she picks up like a pound of string beans, and she goes to the cashier, and the cashier goes, that'll be $23. And my mother goes, no, 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 I'm just getting string beans. And the woman goes, yes, it's $23. Lenny? And my mother goes, what are you, out of your mind? She goes, what is Eli, crazy? So the cashier says, well, if you think he's crazy, why don't you go talk to him? So my mother has absolutely no filter, balls of steel. She turns around. Hi, Amy. She turns around. She walks over to Eli and she goes, how do you have the nerve to charge $23 for a pound of string beans? This is crazy. And my mother is just, when she gets in the zone, just clear the decks. And he goes, we fly them in from South Africa. And so my mother doesn't even miss a beat. And she goes, did you buy them a first class ticket? And she walked out and she didn't buy the string beans. So Eli's, if I tell her I went shopping in Eli's, that's like 2 weeks. She's not even talking to me. Even though we FaceTime like twice a day, that's not happening. That's what it is. I mean, I walked out of Cinderella and I was like $260. I was like, what exactly did I buy? Because out here, I've been doing the same shop and walking out with like 12 bags of food and cooking like there's no tomorrow. All right, grilled artichokes. You ready for this? So can't find a good grilled artichoke recipe. We buy them and they're about to die. They're sitting in a bowl. I hadn't cooked them. I said, you know what? Let me just try this. And I'm not suggesting this is some Martha Stewart perfect recipe, but I took the artichokes, I washed them off, I cut the tips, cut them. I just cut the tops off, put them in boiling water, 10 minutes, maybe 10, 11 minutes. You see them starting to get soft. You take them out, you shock them, you cut them in half, you put olive oil, you throw them on the grill. They are awesome. And you're done with artichokes in like 15.
And did you make, I made an aioli sauce for mine that was really good. Like,
well, you're fancy. We use Hidden Valley Ranch. So,
no, but like it was little garlic, mayonnaise, lemon, and that was and parsley. And it was so good.
Perfect.
Like I felt like I was in a restaurant.
All right. Well, 15 minutes now. You've got my artichoke recipe. What are you watching on TV these days?
Oh my God. Okay. So I started off with The Hunters, which was great.
Hunters.
So I would say it's Netflix all the way.
You're in Netflix.
And so I started off with The Hunters. And keep in mind, I didn't have to turn on television. So I watched The Hunters in 2 days. Then Tiger King became have you seen that?
Yeah, I can't get into it.
Tiger King
can't get into it.
First of all, I love animals, and just like the animals are so beautiful and they seem so happy, at least in the beginning part. And I loved Tiger King. That was incredible.
Right.
And then Ozarks.
Yeah.
I've watched so my routine is basically 8:39. The TV goes on from 9 to 12:30.
Okay.
And that's when I just watch one after another. Then the next series, so Ozark, and then now I'm into Peaky Blinders. Peaky Blinders is amazing.
Okay.
And loving that. And then what I watched, The Gentleman, 1911. Oh my God, what's
1917.
1917 was great. Little Chappelle. I think that's been so far pretty much it. What about you? I need to write some down. We did
Hunters. I was told last night when
The Unorthodox.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. That's fabulous. Yeah, my mother said that was great. We got to watch that. I went to bed last night and I was told that I've seen the first episode of the Ozarks, and I said no, I haven't. And Kaya said yes, you have. And I said no, I haven't. This was like a conversation for about 3 minutes. She goes, no, you watched the first episodes with me. You said you loved it, and I'm thinking, no, I didn't, because we were watching Jimmy Fallon last night, and he had the guy from the Ozarks on. I saw Dave Chappelle, the Mark Twain Award.
Yeah, wasn't that great?
That's awesome. That's great. And if Jon Stewart would read the phone book, he's on for 4 minutes, but if Jon Stewart would do a webinar and just read the phone book, I would watch it, because he's so funny no matter what he does. And he had this.
Except for the suit. The suit needed a little.
The suit. We were like, what the hell's with the suit? The suit was horrible, and we couldn't get over it. We're like, he's a good-looking guy, and the suit looks like he lost 85 pounds.
Or it looks like he took his suit from God knows when, and he had to put a suit on for this.
That's what we said.
And since his retirement.
That's what we said. We couldn't believe it. We were like, "What's with the suit?" And it got so focused on the suit that luckily the joke he told was so funny that it got you out. But then he was back on 2 minutes later, and we're like, "The suit. It's the suit. It looks like his bar mitzvah suit if he shrunk down. It was terrible." What do you miss?
I miss dinner with my friends. I miss like this whole like hunkering down is actually something I probably needed to slow down my pace. But I miss like, it's not a restaurant, it's not a food. It's like sitting with like, 6 of my friends at dinner.
Right.
That's really what I miss the most.
Right. Kibitzing. Yeah.
Just like, I was social. I had dinner with, girlfriends, couples, whatever it was. And that's what, I miss the most is really socializing.
It's also part of your business on the other end of things too. It's like, it's a people business without, you can't do this forever, no matter how good a virtual tour is.
Right. So we had like a couple of Zoom cocktails, a couple of Zoom dinners,
right.
But it's more, it's interesting how you can be accustomed to this life. I mean, it's not bad. You're making these great meals, you're watching TV, you're relaxed, you get to work out, you get to meditate, you get to go on a bike, you get to go and walk on the beach, right. But then when you start to think about reality about, okay, you're not making any money and you're not like seeing anyone and you better, like who you're with, because definitely I saw one of those jokes was his blink is bothering me.
Right. That's right. You have to take a step back, right. Especially, in being in this 24/7, I said, it looks really, really great on paper.
We're fortunate to have a second home.
So much.
And I think the second home is going to be, more important than ever,
Yep. I think.
And I miss like, not going to Aspen. I could have, supposed to go there a week before this started.
Us too. We're supposed to go. Jillian and I were supposed to go seeing it. She, like 2 nights ago at dinner, like out of the blue, there's always this quick comment and she goes, do you know we were supposed to be skiing? I go, yes, I do. I said, we will, just not right now. I said,
I have a few smart friends that went there right before that are still there. It's not a bad place to be.
It's a great place to be. I mean, and I would think it's probably not even remotely a hotspot. But it's like anything else. I'm sure St. Bart's is a great place to be, but after a while, you're in the same place. I mean, there's nothing bad about it. It's the repetition. It's the lack of, option. It's just, and like you said, it's the social interaction.
Right.
Makes people crazy. So other than the health and other than, what have you cooked? What's the best meal you guys have had since
oh my God, between like shrimp, steak, I would say like I make a really good salad, but my boyfriend makes the whole chicken, makes the steaks, makes the hamburgers, makes the fish. I do a little preparing. Sometimes we have like a cook-off, like I season mine, he seasons his, and then he cooks it because we don't always agree. But, we've had really just wholesome meals. I mean, it's, one after another of just, I know. Like I said, the whole chicken, the lamb chops, the hamburgers, the salads, the rice, the pasta, I mean, we have a fully stocked fridge from breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And, our events are around the meals, unfortunately.
That's it. Yeah. We've been doing the same thing, and dinner is just a big deal. And also cooking things that I didn't get the chance to cook before. Like
I'm just cooking. I'm like the fact that I'm cooking, like, I mean, cooking, cleaning has become, my thing, but, I've never cooked.
I've been shampooing rugs. I bought a rug shampooer. I've had the best time with it. It's been great.
I bought every Swifter Bono mop. I have like restocked the entire house.
Oh, you got to get the Hoover. You got to get the Hoover vacuum that also mops the floor at the same time. See the face you're making? That's what I said. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to take a swing for $175. It's genius.
Hold on.
Write this down. It's genius. And it comes with it's a Hoover vacuum that also mops the floor. So we're done with breakfast. We're done with dinner. I come out with the thing. Oh, and here's the thing. If that wasn't cool enough, it's cordless. I swear.
I got the what's it called? The Dyson. But
Dyson is a piece of crap compared to this. I have the Dyson sitting in the pantry. I bought this thing because what you do is you just hit the gun and the solution comes out. It mops the floor and you're done.
Well, that's what the Dyson has. You press the button and it shoots out the stuff.
The Dyson, I think
vacuum.
It's like, it doesn't vacuum. No, this thing vacuums.
No, I've just bought a Swifter and a Bono. So since I'm not making income right now, I got to hold down the.
No, I shampooed 2 sets of rugs already. We had stains from dogs and this, and I was like, I'm committed, and it comes out great.
Yeah, I've got
and
like terracotta floors here and brick floors, and
terracotta.
I've got like a barn. I've got like a Barney house.
Yeah, terracotta is beautiful.
Kind of like my apartment is like the Hampton version of like,
right,
little off.
That's okay. I like the ceiling. What's the ceiling? Pine?
The ceiling is cement.
Oh no. Okay. Yeah.
This is my front yard.
Nice.
The other one's the backyard, but then this is I've got like a lot of Barney. Can you see?
Yeah, I love it.
It's very Barney, and the floors.
Not a bad place to isolate. No, totally good. So during your video calls and your video conferences, do you get dressed up, or you're wearing pajamas the whole time?
Well, for you, actually, I wash my hair and I put mascara on, but usually I really only have sweatpants and pajamas and workout clothes. So I start in the morning with my morning sweats, and then around like 10:30, I put on my workout outfit.
Your afternoon sweats.
And that stays on till about 6.
Right.
And then maybe I'll shower at around 6:30 and put on my nighttime sweats. So I do have 3 outfits a day, and I brought a lot of them so I'd feel special. But we did one day, we were deciding to meet friends that 100 feet apart and say,
sure.
I put on jeans.
Sure.
That's a big
deal.
But otherwise, no, we're going to keep the sweats going. I have no shoes here. I've got sneakers, sweats, and outfits. I'm very happy with it.
I have Crocs with fur inside them, and the kids steal them. I think it's the greatest thing in the world. I put on socks to play ball. Here's my socks for today. That's it.
Oh, I did order about 20 pairs of socks from 2 different companies because I felt like this was a good time to get new socks.
You're
but
purging
I've got
everything.
a ton of sneakers and what I order. Oh, I did order kind of a downy coat, but otherwise I didn't bring 1 pair of shoes here. So, I have my favorite are those Airbirds, Allbirds. I have the Allbirds slip-ons.
No laces. Just in.
And those are like my slippers, and those are great. I'm so happy with those.
Next time I'll talk to you, I'll bring my moccasins with fur in them too, all the fur. This is.
I don't know how we're going to go back.
You, but your second house is where all your stuff usually goes to just die that you don't want to throw out.
I'm wearing it all now.
Right, I'm wearing it all now. Cleaned it all out. Kai and I took the kitchen apart 2 weeks ago. We reorganized every location for everything known to man, and now all I do is walk around going, "Where did we put that? Where's that? I used to know where that is." That's my entire existence.
Yeah, it was about new towels, new throws, new pots and pans, I got an avocado cutter, a cherry picker, I got a salad dressing shaker, I got an electronic pepper mill. That was really.
Was that good?
That was really.
I may put that on the list after this because we were.
I ordered another one for home.
Did you? Where'd you get it? Amazon.
Bloomingdale's.
Bloomingdale's. Really?
I got a milk frother. What else I'm looking at? I really got a lot of olive oils, new knives.
You're set. You'll be back in September.
Well, my biggest thing is I get so excited for the boxes, but then we had a fight. You leave the boxes out for 3 days so that all the germs come on, but then I get so excited. I can't wait. So I get gloves on.
The guy shows up in the driveway. It's like Christmas. We said the same thing. We got the 2 vacuums in one day and about 4 or 5 things, a couple things for the dogs, a couple things for the kids. I go out there with Clorox. I'm wiping everything down. The problem is some of the things the Clorox eats the box immediately. It starts to disintegrate the box. So now I got to go out there with Ziploc bags and start transferring things into bags. This is the highlight of the day.
I saw a good move though. I was at the fish store and I didn't know, I knew the person, and I see this person getting into their car and they're Lysoling themselves. They're Lysoling themselves. And I said to John, I said, "Oh my God, look at that girl Lysoling herself." And then she turned to us. I'm like, "Oh my God, we know her." And then she goes, "Yes, I'm that girl who Lysols herself." She goes, "I'm not taking any chances."
Wow.
Listen, that was a new. So you know what I did? I came home. I Lysol, because when you carry the boxes and you carry stuff, it's against you.
Right.
So I went home and I Lysoled my jacket and my scarf. Smart move.
Isn't this crazy?
Because no more, wipes are hard to come by. We ration them. It's like, oh my God, I had one thing of Purell and we ration. I'm like, no, you could use the wipe right now. You can't, don't use the Purell.
Yeah, we got a ton of bleach, but wipes are this much. So now we're going to have to start figuring out how to make them. And it's because we use them on everything. And this is what it is. So now the question becomes, what about when you go back?
And when, like, let's just say they tell us, May 1st, you can go back. Okay. Right. So
what does that mean?
The first thing I want is my housekeeper. I don't want to go back till my housekeeper comes to my apartment.
Right.
I want a fresh start. So how's she going to get there? I don't want her in an Uber.
No.
Or, I'm looking into scooters, by the way. So,
I already bought an electric bike. I bought an electric bike 3.5 weeks ago. Buy the bike, don't buy the scooter, because it folds. And the scooter, the problem with the scooter is if you hit a pothole, a friend of mine has this a really good saying. He goes, there is no amount of cab fare you're going to save that is going to pay the hospital bill when you fall off a scooter.
But even a good one, like there's very good electric scooters.
This was $6.99. I'll send you the link. It's a foldable electric bike. It weighs about 30 pounds. It does 18 miles an hour, and that's my new Uber.
You lock it up?
No, you fold it and take it with you. Fold it and give it to the doorman.
Really?
Yeah.
And how long?
Because lock it up, they're going to steal it. They're going to walk away with it.
How long does it take to fold?
20 seconds.
You think the doorman on like 1130 Park Avenue is going to say, sure, let me watch your bike?
No, I think what will happen is when you go to a listing, you'll take it and give it to the service people, let them hold it, go up and do your listing, go pick it up and go out. Yes. And it's small. So this is not the bike you want to try to do the Tour de France on. This is, the wheels are small, the pedal, it's a small bike.
And you feel it's safer than an electric
Absolutely.
Scooter for
Absolutely.
$1,500?
100%. Because it's still a function of your core and it's still a function of a pothole. And if you hit a pothole on a bike, you're not typically going to go falling off of it. 100%. Steering, 100%. Not to mention the fact that you're sitting down. I'll send you the link and check it out and see what you think. I mean, what's a scooter weigh? 20 pounds? This thing's 35.
One's 20, one's 40. One's a Segway, one's a Unagi.
And it weighs 40 pounds?
One weighs 20. And they're very
the bike
sturdy.
The bike weighs 35, 40 pounds. And I'm telling you, it's my new best friend. And I bought 2 batteries. So I got 38 miles on it a day.
Okay, send it to me.
Yeah. I mean, but you're right. Now we go back and unless
so we go back and people I was trying to get into a listing before it really got down hard. And, I was like, it's a second showing. They really want to come. And they're like, let us get back to you next week. Let us get, we don't know. Meanwhile, because they had the virus.
Sure.
They finally told me we had the virus. I mean, people aren't so quick to let you in their home. People aren't so quick to let strangers in their home. No. And also, I haven't gotten it yet. So, what does that mean? So, okay, so we go back May 1st. We go into our apartments. We go back to life. They open the offices. I think it's going to be another month. So people, really feel, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, our businesses, for what we do, we're fully shut down. We're not in finance where we can still trade, in banking, I don't know.
We can't renovate anything if we can't get in. We can't, it's a function. I think townhouses are going to become unbelievably attractive to everybody.
Yeah.
You leave your package on the door. Thank you very much. It's been real. But
now you tell that to a townhouse seller and they're like, oh, is my price gone up? Where we couldn't sell it before. And, I feel like pricing is going to be, I'm hoping, the lower price of where you told your seller you should have been. Right. In the other market.
Right.
I can only be positive.
But you're going to need buyers.
Right.
And if it needs
I think that people, there's going to be a lot of pent up demand. The home is becoming the most important thing that you have. I think living here, you realize how happy you are that you didn't sell your second home, or, that you didn't rent it out, or, or is your apartment too small? Is it too big? What does it need? Like, that's why I'm saying, I think that you're going to get calls because people are going to realize, you know what? I hate my bathroom. I hate my kitchen. I've got to redo this. I've got to redo that. So not
Right.
about necessarily the new homes, but your existing homes. You're realizing what's bothering you now.
Right.
Because you're using it all the time.
Oh, and the baseboard that's separating from the wall and the kitchen cabinet knob. It's, I can't even look at it and it's my house because it'll make me crazy. I just have to go back to functioning and doing absolutely nothing. If I start making a punch list of my own house, I'm going to lose my mind.
Right. And I think out of New York City, people are going to be fine. I think showing a townhouse or a house is going to be fine. But New York City is an anomaly. In New York City, these buildings aren't letting you in. I get an email a day. There's someone else in my building that has COVID now or in the hospital.
Yep.
And I'm like, are they on my floor? Where are they? I have no idea. So New York City is very different. And I don't know how we're going to rush back into this, which is scary because that's how we make our money.
That's exactly right. We had a building close right around March 15th, And they called up and the building manager called me and said, we're shut down until May 15th at that time. And I said, okay. And he said, we would like to contact the shareholder, buyers, to let them know that this is what's happening. And I said, that's great, because I really do not want to deliver that news.
Right.
You deliver it. And they delivered. But now May 15th is a pipe dream.
I mean, even like my son's moving out of his apartment. So the rental building, of course, will move you in and move you out. But I can't even move his things into my building. Then my building's like, well, you can have it left down in the basement, but you can't bring it up.
That's it.
In the service elevator.
Right.
So is this changing April 1?
No. You mean May 1?
I mean May 1.
No. There's not a chance. Not a chance. And I've got 2 townhouse projects going on. Thankfully, when some semblance of a green light goes on, we have work to do and things to do. But I've got 3 apartments obliteratedly ripped out. So now these people, what do you do? And one of these jobs is a summer only on Park Avenue. So the question,
I wonder if those are going to be changing. I think buildings are going to have to make some changes going forward.
You think so? I don't know. I think obscenely well-off people make the rules in the building, because they were freaking out in early March saying, leave the pizza on the doorstep. Don't even call us on the phone. We don't want people in the building. I don't know if they start saying we're going to open up construction for November, when they were like, put your hammers down on September 15th. I don't know if that's going to happen. Either way, there's going to be a ramp up in everybody's business. It's not going to be like, turn the light on Monday, let's all go back to work on Tuesday, everything's normal. There's a ramp up time. And that, I don't think anybody's even calculating for that. I've got a manufacturer that I've done business with for 20 years. He's doing the plan, he's doing the program, the federal loan, all of that. He said, and that's going to help. I need $2 million to restart the business after that's all taken care of. He said, where do I get the $2 million? I said, you go to your bank account. I said, because if the business is big enough now, it's payback time. That's what it is.
I mean, I think this time also makes you realize how little you need also.
How little? Oh. Listen,
so.
We're doing a project with arguably one of the most expensive interior design firms in the city for a client. And they said to me the other day, spending money is not going to be cool. And I said,
but on your home is one thing, because you live in it. But I think the other wasted money is not on your home. Wasted money that, you don't need the superficial.
No, I agree with you. I think that spending money is, on things that you don't need. I agree with you. That makes a lot of sense. I said to somebody the other day, I do never want to be the guy driving a Bentley down Park Avenue, period. That's it.
Husbands are very happy right now. I think their wives are all spending less on the shopping.
Well, you said you need this time. And I said to myself, I looked back at my schedule before this happened. And I used to say, this is crazy. Like, you run a marathon every single day. But you know who really needed this also? The planet. The planet needed it. Jillian comes to me yesterday and she goes, have you seen what's going on with pollution? I go, yeah, there's no pollution because nobody's making anything, because the planet's taking a break. So,
Right.
you know, there's this view of like, this all came together at the same time and, you know, everybody's taking this mental break, but the planet, my God, you know.
It was like a reset. It was like an Apple when you got to
Right.
reset the whole phone and start over.
Right.
You know, it's a reset. It's a time to really, you know, rethink and, you know, renourish and, you know, figure out what's good for you and your health and your well-being and your business, but how could you do it different and smarter?
Right. And you don't necessarily need the Bentley. That's the thing. You need the time. For all the time that you have right now, when things ramp up and we go back to, like you said, 24/7, the answer's got to be right now. That could get old very quickly in the face of all of this. And people are going to have to figure out what really is important to them. And yeah, I mean, you and I, sometimes we email at, 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm like, what are you up? You're like, what are you up? That's what you do. That's what we do. The question's going to be, well, do we need to get some sleep?
Right. I mean, I think some of the best things that we've done now is we've slept well. Like, I'm not setting my alarm for anything,
No.
And, it's funny. My son, one of the things I'm grateful for is my son finally came back yesterday.
Okay.
So last night. So now I have him.
He's good.
And he's good. He's 21. But, all of a sudden, we're, still in bed at 9 o'clock and he's on the phone. I'm like, we have a rule. You have to like not put your speakerphone on and talk downstairs. So what are you doing sleeping? I'm like, what are we getting up for? like this is a time to rest. I mean, I've been my whole life getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning, going to sleep at 1:30,
right.
Getting no sleep, being exhausted, being irritable.
Right.
I finally feel good.
But it took 2 weeks to get over the guilt of not getting up.
Right.
Even though there was nothing to get up for, I was still at 10 o'clock in the morning going, I overslept and didn't. And I'm going, for what? What am I doing?
My office is like, let's have a meeting. I'm like, no, after 11.
Well, that's what I said. People are like, after 11, you're better than I was saying, if you're around 4:30, 5 o'clock, when we start to figure out what we're eating for dinner, I've got all the time in the world. I really don't want to have a meeting in the middle of the day unless it's really something consequential. And
I started the 6:30 thing.
Yeah.
Because 6 is meditation and I want to be out from like, if it's nice out, I want to be out. So all of a sudden when it's not nice out, I'm like, I can talk now.
Same thing. I'm like, and what exactly are we doing with the information from the meeting? Somebody sent an email yesterday. Thursday, sends an email and the email goes, Lee, you didn't respond. Is everything well? And they copied like 5 people on it. So I called them up and I said, hi, which email did I not respond to? Because I think I'm pretty much on top of them. But admittedly, like you, I'm not responding to a 12:45 email at 12:46. And he said, well, is everything okay? What's going on? So I said, what's going on? Jillian just beat me in a game of ping pong. I'm going upstairs to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's what's going on. What's going on with you? And he started laughing. I said, what email did you send? He goes, well, there was a question on a design of something. I go, but all the fabrication shops are closed. I'll get you the answer today. But in all honesty, like, chill out.
Well,
because if you can't chill out now, what exactly do you need? I mean, beyond this is like death. Like what more do you need to take a break? This is enough. So that's why I said to him, what's going on? We're playing ping pong. That's what's going on. And then we're going to go outside.
I definitely have become like more of a phone person. I've always hated the phone. I'm emailing, I'm texting, I hate the phone. So what I do now is I make a collection of all the people I have to call and I go on like a 3.5 mile walk around my neighborhood and I take my headphones and that's when I make all my calls.
That's
and
great.
I'm not rushing anyone off the phone because I'm late or rushing, and I let them talk. I listen, and it's nice. I mean, it's nice to know, this is the time to also realize that you need to get back on the phone.
Absolutely. Well, that's the other thing. It's so funny you said that. I said to them on the email, I go, if I didn't respond to the email, the thing that you're typing the email in also has the ability of making a phone call. You should just call. And he said, yeah, no, you're right. I think the craziest thing of this whole thing, my mom in the city lives across the street from you. I live 2 blocks down from you. I would speak to my mother once a week, twice a week. I realized last night I have 46 straight FaceTime calls morning and night with my mother for the last 23 days. So is that a good thing that's come out of this? Yes, it's a good thing that's come out of this. I even said to her, I said, do you know how much leeway I'm giving you because you keep telling me the same thing over and over again about how you're able to get your prescriptions switched from the pharmacy on 2nd and 79th up to your country house. So I said, but you can keep telling to me it's fine as long as we keep doing FaceTime calls. Hi, Jillian.
Hi, Jillian.
And I'm like, that's fine. Just keep talking. But I do a phone call with her in the morning. I didn't do it this morning, but I'll do it. And then I'll do a phone call at night. And usually the phone call at night is, what are you cooking? And, you know, and my mother, I love her. My mother is cooking 4-course dinners for her and a dog. And I'm like going, so what'd you make for dinner? Oh, I made a broccoli reganata, and then I had some brisket, and I had some this. And I said, are you at all concerned about, you know, you could put a couple of pounds on it. Maybe that's not the thing to do. Yeah, no, I am. So I'm dancing, doing a lot of dancing. What does that mean? What kind of dancing? I put on Diana Ross and I dance and I go, are the blinds in the house up or down? Because I go, because if the blinds are up, you need to put the blinds down.
That is really funny. I remember when I was still in the city, I was cooking like for one. I was making these amazing meals. Like I was trying everything out, cooking for one. I mean, it was, you know, it's interesting.
Oh, we listen, we cook in the city also, but this is a different level. This is a whole different level. And I went out and bought prepared foods, get in the car, complain about the price. Kaya looks at me and she says to me, so you're okay buying prepared foods? And I'm going, oh shit, you're right. I didn't buy. So whatever I bought that is reheatable and cookable at 400 degrees, that I'm not going to throw out. But the things that are prepared, I'm not going to do it.
Right.
What am I going to take a chance for? 22 days. What am I nuts? That's crazy. So the cauliflower rice that I bought, I'll put it back in the pan, a little bit of olive oil. It's going to be great. But the whitefish salad, I'm not doing it. It's crazy. What's your best listing right now? What's the listing that if you could sell it, you'd be like, oh my God, this is the greatest listing in the world?
Oh my God, I'll take anything right now. I mean, I have, you know, about 28 listings. So, you know, they're all on pause. I mean,
right.
There's, you know, I do get a call like, you know, I would say co-ops are just out right now.
Right.
Co-ops are fully out. But at the same time, you're not showing them. So, you know, like someone asked, is there any way that I can pretend to be like the sister-in-law and get in? You know, I am getting a couple of those. But, you know, people are living in them.
Right.
So, you know, I'd be happy to sell anything right now. I came close on something, and, you know, when things started getting bad, we snuck in there once or twice. And then, you know, the buyer just went on pause. You know, the buyer just was like, you know what, I have too many other things to worry about right now.
Right.
Let's just deal with this after. And all the contracts I had out were on pause.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a couple of things that people are, you know, really throwing out lowball numbers on. And the sellers are like, you know what, I'm going to hold. You know, I'm not going to, you know, go into this Corona like discount, you know, because I think that it's going to be tough when we get back. But I think that there's enough people that are so ready to go back out and look that we'll tiptoe our way back up.
I think you're going to do great with new construction, to be honest with you. I think
that's, you know, I don't do a lot of new development. So, you know, people in new development, you know, are lucky because right now you can buy from a plan. I think the sellers are probably giving more than they had wanted to for now.
Sure.
But, you know, there's no days on market anymore, so there's no harm in leaving your thing on. But I really don't expect anything to move right now. I'm just, you know, I speak to my customers, you know, once a week. I send an email. I have a phone call. You know, we just talk. You know, I'm available for them. But the truth is, nothing's happening. Some people who don't live in New York are like, okay, well, I'll put it on. You know, I don't want to be without a tenant for a few months, and we'll put it on for both. I'm like, you don't understand. We can't get in.
Right.
Like, we can't show.
Right.
Like, so, you know, I think it's going to be very difficult for a little bit. And I don't know how it's going to be if they say go back May 1st.
I don't think anybody's showing anything May 2nd.
You know, I'm not running to a restaurant. I'm not running into an Uber. I'm not, you know.
No, you're going to buy the bike I told you about. You're going to Wait, you'll see. And I got the thing on the back, so you can put you can put your bag on the back. It didn't come with that. I'm telling you.
Did you do a lot of research before you got this?
Oh, about 2 nights of obsessive compulsive, my normal, go through, watch the reviews, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, all right, I'll buy it. And the funny thing was, now it comes time to order it and deliver it. So I'm like, well, do I deliver it to the city or do I deliver it out here? And it was only by chance. I said, I'll deliver it out here. And this way I could try it on the street, but deliver it to the city, be sitting in the storage room someplace waiting to go.
Right.
But it's going to be my new Uber. And it's going to be my new Uber for the foreseeable future, because at 18 miles an hour, I'll get to where I want to go. It'll take me 5 extra minutes. But, listen.
But it takes literally 20 seconds to fold it.
It's 20 seconds to fold it.
And is it easy to wheel it into the building?
It's unbelievably easy to wheel into the building. And then when you fold it, it stands up by itself because it knows enough not to fall over when you fold it. So I'm telling you.
But you have to go in the service entrance. You can't go into through the...
You're Lauren Muss. They're going to take it at the front door. How's the team? How's the whole team?
We have Zoom team meetings, a full meeting once a week. And then,
right.
I'm on the phone with, my main people, a couple times a day. We still have to do some comps for people. Some people are thinking like, if I get out, can I get a better deal somewhere else? So we're still sending, some people are still looking. They want to know what they can see when they get back into things. So we're still, servicing as much as we can. We're still sending out nice notes, and, we want to send something out that's interesting, that, shows that, we care and that we're here and we get it. But if you want to talk business, we're here to talk, whatever, it's hard.
It's a balancing act.
You don't want to be pushy, and you don't want to, put anyone in a bad situation.
No. And,
then it's a lot. It's also reality check, some people are like, oh, well, maybe we'll be, maybe it'll be better after, or, how much worse. Some people are saying it's going to be 20% off of where we were. Some people are saying it's going to be back to the low end of where we were. Some people are threatening to take their listings off and hold for a few years. I don't think, holding for a few years is going to do anything. I can't tell you where we're going to be in 5-10 years, but we're not going to be in this fabulous market, in the next 2-3 years. We weren't before this.
No.
It was a new normal that people have to accept.
It's funny. You talked about like talking to clients and being there for them and all this. We have a mutual client and a mutual friend. And I was talking to him the other day, and he's interested in buying something out here.
Yes.
And going through the gyrations of the building and this, that, and the other. But in all honesty, I'm listening to him, and we've been friends forever. And I'm like, yes, how can I help you? He said, will you come and look at it next week with me? And I said, yes, if you want to do it in the morning, the kids are in virtual school. I'll put on a mask. I'll come and see you. I'll stay, 40 feet away from you. But what we really talked about, and I really wanted to spend time with him, like, how's your daughter? His daughter is an emergency care doctor at Elmhurst Hospital. See?
I did not know that. I thought Mount Sinai. Mount Sinai.
She went to Elmhurst for a period of time. So I go, how's she doing? He goes, she's doing great. She's healthy, this, that, and the other. He goes, but all 3 kids, you've never met the other kids. All 3 kids are great. I said, I'm sure all 3 kids are great. But the one who is at Elmhurst Hospital is a different level of rock star. And he said, I can't argue with you. You're absolutely right. That's it. So, I'll talk about 15 minutes, 20 minutes about his daughter and what she's doing and the trials and tribulations. She was there when Barbara Corcoran sent a whole set of dinners to everybody. She thought it was fantastic. But that's what I want to talk about. You want to talk about, what bathroom we're going to renovate, or why the air conditioning system at the condo you're thinking of buying out east may have a problem. It goes in one ear. I process it. Here's your answer. Now let's talk about your daughter.
Now is the time to give if you can. I've been involved in Lenox Hill and Butterfields and making, giving money to feed, the workers. And now someone just approached me they want iPads, because a lot of their people in the hospital, they don't want to give them their phones to call their loved ones. So they want to have like an iPad where they can FaceTime, for the people who don't have phones. So I'm working on something with that right now. Then I've been giving money to feed all the, Will Cornell, and to, all the different, hospitals, and, Southampton Hospital, so there's so many ways and people in need right now. And then, then there'll be ourselves who, when are we really going to go back to work?
You're right. All right. So when they turn the green light on, what's the first place you're going to? What's the first restaurant you're going to? Place can be anywhere.
Well, the first thing I'm doing is my housekeeper's coming in.
I just spoke to her this morning. She wished me happy Easter.
Then, that's the first thing. Then it's not about the restaurant. It can be anywhere. It's seeing my friend, like doing group dinners, not big ones, but little ones. So definitely a manicure and pedicure.
I said,
I couldn't find, I couldn't I went to 5 places here with my mask and gloves, couldn't find cuticle clippers. I had to, order them on Amazon. It took a week. Yeah, but now we're doing okay.
I said to you, one of my questions is going to be $1,000. Do you take the $1,000 or do you get a great pedicure?
Well, so manicures I can do. Pedicures I can't do. I would go for the pedicure.
Yeah, go for the pedicure.
I think that's, and I stopped going pretty much a while ago because I was so nervous to go into any of those places. So It's been, so I would say that. Try out some scooters because I don't want to get into the Ubers or bikes.
Where do you, when they turn the green light on and they say get on planes, where are you going? I think I know the answer, but
I have to drive to Aspen. I mean, they locked my place down there too. They locked that down. So, that would be my first place to go. Between there, I mean, I canceled Jazz Fest.
Oh, well, they can't. Yeah, I mean But
I was booked.
Yeah, you had to.
So I was booked. I'm booked for Memorial Day to St. Bart, so we'll see.
We'll see.
I'm booked in June for Aspen, so we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
These are my first getaways.
Jillian said to me, she said, Daddy, this could go 6 months. And I go, Jillian, you have to understand something. It can't go 6 months. She goes, why not? I said, because if I'm not in Miami soon, Daddy's going to hit himself over the head with a brick. I got to get to Miami. So she goes, well, why don't we drive? And I go, yeah, that looks really good on paper. I said, I used to drive in my teens and in college to Florida. I go, that is the most.
I would drive. I think you should do it.
Oh my God. 95? It's the worst drive on the planet. It is.
I personally would do it. I mean, I think that I don't know how, we get back and what's really changing for a while?
Nothing.
We're going to tiptoe, be petrified, walk with our wipes and open doors and go into, maybe vacant apartments, maybe, new development.
Sure.
But co-ops and condos, homes, I think it's going to be a while. I think I'm excited to go home.
Right.
But I'm not running to a workout class. I think that the new wave of all these classes, I've been biking, I've been taking classes, I've got my 3 things I do, walk. So I think, we're going to be, even if we go back to our homes, we're going to be doing the same thing for a little while.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've never
just no grill because we're in our apartments.
Right. Well, George Foreman on a, something small.
But haircut, Yeah.
I miss.
Someone asked me if I knew of a person who was going around to people's houses doing Botox the other day. I was like, seriously?
It's got to be.
I'm like, no, I don't know that.
It's got to be.
But I laughed.
It's got to be.
I'm sure.
It is a great business. Well, you look fantastic. Clearly the break is serving you well. And, we're doing the best we can. That's it.
Maybe start selling houses in the Hamptons.
It's not so crazy.
Well, no, the rentals I hear have gone skyrocketing because everyone's just desperate for a month or something.
Well, didn't Farrell rent Sandcastle or something like that for an obscene amount of money because somebody just wanted out of the city from March until?
I'm sure.
If I quote the number, it'll be wrong, but I think it was like $7 million or some obscene amount of money for, for 4 or 5 months.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised either. That's just the way it.
But to have a front yard, a backyard, a beach, a pool, whatever it is, just be able to get out and get on a bike, go for a walk, and not have anyone on top of you is a gift that we save up for. So
now's the time to use it. And with that, I think I'm going outside.
Have a great day. Thanks, Lee.
Send love to everybody. See you
soon.
Bye.
You too. Bye.